Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 26 October 2023, Thursday night at 9 o'clock. It's time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and that's exactly what we have for you tonight. A bunch of knives, a couple lights, and a watch. It's going to be a fun one, I think. Before we get into the meat of it, let's do a little bit of housekeeping as usual. First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I will then also print them in the description underneath this video so you can peruse them at your leisure. Also included in the description under the video will be, at the very top, links to 3 previous videos on this channel. Very important reading, especially if you're interested in using the knife sale to your benefit. The first link is to my Primer for Buyers video. That is a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. If you're new to this weekly sales event, especially if you're new, it would behoove you to watch that. The second link is pertinent if you are considering using this weekly sale to move along some of your collection. It's called FAQs for Consignors, and it explains how this process works every Thursday night and beyond from the consignor's perspective. The third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So in the all-important video description, you will see those 3 links at the top, then the terms of the sale, and at the bottom, you'll see the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. In the pricing column, you'll generally see 2 numbers, the one on the left, the price of your knife as shown in the video, the price on the right, the price of your knife as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. There will be no next day sharpening this week. I'm still trying to get caught up after vacations. So if you buy a knife to be sharpened, expect it to ship in 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, if you see the word sold in lieu of a price in that far right column, no need to send an email. That knife has already been bought and paid for by its new owner. I believe that's it for the housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and then we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we've got, I think, 6 leftovers from last week. The first one's going to come in this plain brown wrapper. It is from my favorite knife company north of the border, North Arm Knives. What we have here is a Skaha 2. I think it's the first time a North Arm knife has ever made it to a second week. So we've got red G10, all bright hardware, right hand tip up deep carry wire clip, and that amazing Skaha flipping action. This is an S35VN Skaha 2. I love the deeply engraved maker's mark, the gorgeous tumble polish. There is the engagement on your stainless steel liner lock. Super smooth. Centering is down the middle. Flipping action is pure Skaha. 3 3/8 blade, 4 3/8 handle. Lockup is rock solid. Condition will be very near mint in box. These are out of stock at $230 web retail. Sold listings on eBay run between $235 and $300. We listed this last week at $210. It didn't sell. We dropped it to $190 for the weekend. Still here. Let's do $175 this week. $200 if you'd like it with my edge on it. That is the North Arm Skaha 2, red S35. Next up, this doesn't happen very often, but it is warranted in this case. This is a Spyderco from Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. It is a Shaman PJ. So black G10, S30V blade. There is your crowned and blasted black G10. Now all the blade, the clip, the hardware all have kind of a dark stone wash. There's your S30V blade, 3 9/16 inches in length, 4 11/16 handle. Compression lock mechanism. It is a free dropper. It is centered up and rock solid lockup. This appears to have been touched up pretty lovingly. It's actually quite bitey and toothy and sticky. So if you're going to use this knife, no need for me to sharpen it unless you just want that beautiful edge, because it is totally functional. Near mint in box. Current Spyderco map pricing for web retailers is $252. We ran it last week at $210, dropped it to $190 for the weekend, and guess what? $190 is where it will stay, and there will be no Saturday price drop, so that is a last and final on the Shaman. But a great Shaman it is. Next up, one of our non-knife items in this week's sale. This is a watch from Oris, and I didn't show you guys this last week, and I should have. Inside the gray box, we have a white box, and inside the white box comes a NATO strap and a spring bar tool. You're also going to get a baseball with what I believe is a facsimile signature of the namesake of the watch, Roberto Clemente of the Pittsburgh Pirates. It is a limited edition Roberto Clemente Oris Big Crown pointer date. Let me try to get all this stuff gathered back up. I will show you the watch as soon as I get my mess out of the way. All right. It's an iconic model from Oris, the Big Crown pointer date. Stainless steel case, coined edge bezel, and of course it is a Big Crown pointer date. So let me show you the large, that's got to be 8+ millimeters of screw down crown, signed with the Oris maker's mark. We've got reference number 0175477414081-set. 40 millimeters in diameter, 47 lug to lug, 20 millimeter lug width, just 11.5 tall. Has a display case. Oh, it doesn't have a display case back. It has a Roberto Clemente case back. But the heart beating inside is the Salida SW200-1 automatic. Keeps very good time. I didn't start it up and run it this morning, but last week for the sale I did, and I think it was, and check back on that other video, but I believe it was about +5 seconds over the day that I monitored it. Very, very light scuffing. It's definitely near mint. Comes on this leather strap, but the nylon is included. It has a double domed sapphire crystal. And the cool thing about the pointer date is the pointer date. Very cool colorway, even if you're not a Pirates fan. Let's see, these sell retail new for about $2,200 to $2,500 depending on which website you buy from. We ran it last week at $11.50, didn't sell, dropped it to $10.50 for the weekend. This week, $900, guys. way less than half price for a brand new one on the Oris Big Crown Pointer Date Clemente edition. Next up, we got one from Emerson, and it is a very special Emerson. It's the Hattin SF in brown or natural canvas micarta, and it's serialized number 23 of only 60 made. What a beautiful, large Emerson. Now, not only is this a number 23 of 60 limited edition, but it is also wearing a brass thumb disc and bead from Deus Volt. Okay, so here's what we got. 5 1/16 inches of handle, right hand tip up clip, wave and disc deployment. Look at that gorgeous Persian blade. And under the disc it says number 23 of 60. It is a low saber grind on the primary bevel, and then the edge bevel has a beautifully applied convex edge. Not factory, but very, very nicely done. There's the engagement of your titanium locking leaf. Knife operates normally for an Emerson on nylotron washers. Centering is pretty dialed in. Now the chisel ground tip will give you a little bit of an optical illusion, but it's pretty much perfect for an Emerson. Condition, very near mint in box. These are out of stock, of course. I did look on eBay sold listings, couldn't find any for the limited edition, but the plain old black G10 model is trading between $355 and $450 in the sold listings. We ran this last week at $495, didn't sell, dropped it to $460 for the weekend. Didn't sell, let's do $425 on this one for this week. No need to sharpen. That is the Emerson Hattin SF number 23 of 60. Next up, guys, this has got to be the steal of the sale. It's a Spyderco from Seki City, Japan, and it is a Delica Pakka wood. It is a Knife Center exclusive, fully lined Delica. Pakka wood is a laminated mahogany or mahogany plywood product, and these are probably, if not the best, one of the best looking sets of Pakka wood scales I've ever seen. The blade is a laminated product with HAP 40 tool steel on the inside. You can see the line of demarcation. And then SUS 410 is the cladding steel. Lockup is rock solid. Action is pretty normal. Centering is dead down the middle. Condition on this one, near mint to like new in box. These are currently available at Knife Center for a price of $156. We ran this one last week at $125, didn't sell, dropped it to $110 for the weekend. Guys, this is the cheapest one of these I've ever seen at this week's price in this condition. $100 like it is, $130 with an ApostleP edge. The Spyderco Delica FFG Pakka HAP 40. Next up, kind of a recent release from Microtech and our last leftover from last week. It's the model 184-12 Glykon with the bayonet blade. This one sporting that two-tone handle. So black hard anodized aluminum for the most of it. And then you've got sort of the raw aluminum up top. A beautiful milled titanium pocket clip that appears to be reversible. And it's got what Microtech is calling the tri-sided button. So you got the conventional OTF deployment button here, and then you've got buttons on the side. Medium, maybe medium firm button effort. Your bayonet combo edge blade
is 3 3/4 inches in length, not a small knife. 5 5/16 inches of handle. Blade steel is M390. I forgot to write down my pertinent info. Let's see. See if my old eyes can read this. Born March of 23. Serial number is 508. It is like new in the box. These are out of stock at $549 web retail. We ran this last week at $475, dropped it to $440 for the weekend. This week, $415, boys. No need to sharpen. The Microtech 184-12 Glykon bayonet. Next up, we got a little run of Microtechs going. This is a cool little pocket knife, man. It's the Micro 240 4BL. What's that? Well, it is a mini Troodon Tonto edge in blue. What a little stunner. So it's definitely just a 3-finger knife. Cool little Tonto blade. So you got 2 inches of M390 and then a blue hard anodized aluminum handle that's 3 1/8 inches long. It is an out the front automatic. Got your normal Microtech clip, your normal Microtech bolt and glass breaker. Very light, on the light side of medium for a button effort. 100% reliable. This one was born June of 2022. Serial number 5713. It is like new in the box. These are out of stock. When they were available, they had a web retail price of $316. Let's go $250 on this one. $285 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. That's the Microtech Micro 240 4BL Mini Troodon Tonto edge. Next up, another Microtech. Uh-oh. We have gold. The knife inside, the SOCOM Bravo. Single edge, titanium handle, bead blast. Standard finish, blue titanium pivot collar, carbon fiber scales. Model 260-7 CFTi. What a beauty. The blue pivot collars give it a heck of a nice little pop of color. Beautifully milled handle. Exquisite backspacer. Milled titanium clip that'll be right hand tip up only. Ball bearing action. The blade, M390, 3 15/16 inches in length. The handle, 5 inches. Steel inserted titanium frame lock. There is your lock engagement. It's rock solid. The ball bearing action is what you would expect. And the centering is as well. Perfect. Ball bearings and thumb studs. Beautiful. Condition like new in box. These are currently available at your favorite web retailer, I believe, for $350. This one, like new in the box, $275 like it is, $305 with an ApostleP edge. The Microtech 260-7 CFTi SOCOM Bravo single edge. Next up, here's a knife I've never seen one of before. There is your box. It's from Heretic Knives. And the knife inside is the Wraith automatic, but the model number H100-8A-Blizzard with a battle-worn black blade, Tonto profile, and the blizzard-worn handle. What is a blizzard-worn handle? Well, here you go. So it looks to me like they took raw aluminum scales, bead blasted them, and then gave them a coarse tumble. How about that? Blue pivot collars,
Battle worn black titanium milled clip with ceramic ball retention. Going to be right hand tip up only. This is a side folding button lock automatic. There is your Tonto edge blade. Blade steel is L max. Blade length on the Wraith 3 5/8. Handle 5 1/16. Lockup dead rock solid. Action positive. Centering close, but I believe it favors the right slightly. We'll call this near mint in box. These are out of stock. When they were available, I believe they were $425 web retail. This one can be yours $275 like it is. $310 with an TheApostleP Edge. The Heretic Blizzard Wraith Auto. Next up, I think I've only ever had one of these on the TheApostleP Knife sale. It is from Arcform, comes in a sort of like a large Protect box. Model number is the ARC-01002. It is the Slimfoot, designed by Jeff Blavelt of Tough Knives. And this is the Slimfoot Copper, because the titanium handle is augmented with a copper insert. Pretty cool. It is a ball bearing flipper. It is a titanium frame lock with steel lock face insert. Notice the Wii-like screw end. Very nicely finished. Milled titanium right hand tip up pocket clip with the Arcform maker's mark. There's your lock engagement. Here's your blade. It's kind of a razor kind of a blade in profile, hollow ground. Nice fuller. Blade steel is M390. The blade's 3.5 inches long. The handle is 4 7/16, so pretty efficient blade to handle ratio. Lockup is dead rock solid. Ball bearing action is just fine. Centering looks down the middle to me. Flipping action with a kind of a low profile flipper. Very nice. Beautiful detent. Nice action. Let's see, what else can I tell you? We'll call it near mint to like new in box. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $350 web retail. Let's go $250 on this one. $280 with an TheApostleP Edge. That's the Arcform Slimfoot Copper. Next up, we have arrived at the Rob's Pick for tonight. And guys, don't nap on this one. Just don't. It's a Hogue, and it is a Hogue Ritter RSK Mark 1 G2, model number 54188-EXL RSK. Huh. Nothing to see here. Tumbled solid black G10 handle here. Except, what does that say? CPM MC. Yes, it is a MagnaCut RSK full size. 3 3/8 inches of stonewashed MagnaCut. 4 7/16 inches of handle. In that beautiful sunburst milled black G10. Ambidextrous tip up deep carry clip. Able lock. Phosphor bronze washers. And thumb studs. Oh, yes. Rock solid lockup. Free swing in action. And perfect blade centering. Condition. It is like new in box. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $180 web retail for about 5 minutes. I could find no sold listings on eBay, but I did find a current buy it now listing for $289 with free shipping. This one, how about we do $200 all in, shipped priority mail. $230 with an TheApostleP Edge. That's the Hogue Ritter 54-188 RSK Mark 1 G2. Yeah, the Rob's Pick. Next up, what do we have here? We have a red microfiber pouch. Inside is a Spyderco box. It is a Goddard in red with a 4BV blade, and it is an exclusive for St. Nick's Knives. So the Goddard folder, a reissue of an old pattern for Spyderco. Notice the old pattern in the FRN, the old ambidextrous clip attachment, the midlock with the boy dent, and a DLC coated blade in CPM 4V with the designed by Wayne Goddard maker's mark. What a sweet, sweet pocket knife. Rock solid midlock lockup, nice free blade, perfect blade centering. 3 5/8 inches of 4V in a just super usable and beautiful blade shape. 5 3/16 inches of handle, lots of real estate. Whether you want to grip it back here or you want to creep forward, it doesn't care. This one is in near mint to like new in-box condition. They are out of stock. Shocking. Sold listings on eBay run between $137 and $160, which makes this knife a bargain even at eBay prices. On this one, and it is a perfect example. Let's do $130 shipped priority mail, $160 with an ApostleP Edge. The Spyderco Goddard red DLC 4V St. Nick's. Next up, from one icon to another. Our next one is from Benchmade. And it's a 560 BK-1 Freak. We know that as the Super Freak. This knife needs no explanation, no introduction. We have a Cerakote blade in CPM M4, 3 9/16 inches in length, 4 13/16 inches of handle, milled layered black and gray G10, red liners, red standoffs, Parkerized split arrow clip, axis lock, blackened liners. Whoops, it's too free. Look at that. Blade centering is perfect. Lockup is dead rock solid. Condition, like new in the box. A perfect example, like new in box. They're currently available. They just keep making them. They're $252 web retail, Benchmade matte pricing. This one, $210, all in, shipped, priority mail. If you want it to come to you with an ApostleP Edge, add $30, $240 sharpened. The Super Freak, don't wait on that one. Next up, another Benchmade. Blue box. Oh, it's just a bug out. Nothing to see here. What's the model number? 535 BK-4. So that means it must have a black blade. And it does. See, nice black blade. It's S90V. I'm sorry, it's not either. It's M390. Duh. They list this one as having a Cerakote blade, but the real show here is the handle. Oh. So it looks to me like there's kind of a transparent ano, probably a hard ano over this milled aluminum scale, and then that gorgeous sunburst pattern. Man, is it cool. Parkerized shorty deep carry clip that'll be ambidextrous tip up. Red standoffs, red thumb studs. Super free swinging blade. Beautiful rock solid lockup. And the centering, I don't know, would perfect be okay? Okay, that's what it is. Condition on this bug out is near mint in box, and the reason it's not like new, it looks like the tip was rolled and touched up. Now, if you buy this sharpened, of course, that'll be fixed. But the rest of the factory edge, very unmolested and quite sharp. So that's what you got there. These are currently available for a web retail Benchmade map price of $270. This one, $225 like it is, $255 with an ApostleP edge. That's the bug out BK, or 535 BK-4 from Benchmade. Next up, got one from ZT, Experience It. This is the 0450 Ti Sinkovich, all titanium. The small Dmitry Sinkovich design, steel inserted titanium frame lock, ambidextrous tip up pocket clip, ball bearing flipper, superb flipping action. Let me put my fingers on the lock bar. No death lock. Blade steel on this one, S35VN. Just a gorgeous little blade. You got 3 3/16 inches of blade, 4 3/16 inches of handle. Very efficient blade to handle ratio. The pinky hangs out right here, great in the hand. Blade centering on this one is perfect. Condition, like new in the box. Currently available for ZT map pricing online of $232. This one can be yours. $175 all in, shipped, priority mail, like new in box. $200 if you'd like my edge. The ZT0450 Ti. Next up, another ZT, and this one's a real beast. A great pocket knife. It's the ZT0350 Ken Onion design. It's kind of the entry-level ZT. This came late in the Onion Design 300 series. So it is a ZT. It's got regular old peel-ply black G10. It's got the old Parkerized ZT butter knife clip, carryover from the Kershaw days of old. It is not a ball-bearing flipper. It is a phosphor bronze washer, speed-safe, spring-assisted flipper. Ken Onion Design S30V. 3 3/16 inches of DLC-coated S30V, 4 9/16 inches of handle, superb jimping, great in the hand, organic recurve blade, stainless steel liner lock that is robust. Perfect lockup. Nice free blade till you get to the spring. And the blade centering is dead perfect. Flipping action is speed safe, man. You don't have to worry about it. It just goes. We'll call it near mint in box. Still making this knife. Currently available at your favorite web retailer for $188. This one, let's go $130 like it is, $160 with an ApostleP edge. The ZT0350 in DLC. Next up, no box with this one, but who cares? This is from Benchmade. Interesting, isn't it? Kydex sheath, beautifully embossed with the butterfly. The backside is orange, as are the liners on the handle. I think these will accept a tech lock, but you get nothing with it. Just throw it in your pocket, in your pack, whatever. It is the 15017-1 Hidden Canyon Hunter. Blade steel is S90V, 2 13/16 inches of it. Looks like an 1/8 inch stock with a very high flat grind. Beautiful stone wash. Jimping everywhere. I love this forward jimping. If this is how you process the cavity of your deer, you'll want that index point, because if you're in that animal with both hands, you want to know where the tip of the knife is. Now the handle is the star of this show, though. That is layered black and tan rich light over orange liners. What a beautiful piece of work that is. You know, for kind of a minimalist handle, it works so well. Yeah, so just 2 13/16 inches of blade, but very broad. Great slicer. 3 5/8 handle. And then that two-tone Kydex. Map price of these brand new, and this is near mint to like new, no box. Map price $234 for this version, the S90V in Rich Light. Let's go $175 on this one, shipped priority mail, $205 with an Apostle PH. Next up, we have one from Olamic. Custom knives. What do we like about Olamic? Well, they're never the same. That's what. Comes with this certificate of authenticity. Tells us it's a Whippersnapper made April 22nd of 2021. Looks like it was a table knife at a show. Wharncliffe blade, flat grind, 20 CV blade, stonewash finish. So we have a dark blast titanium handle, blue anodized titanium nugget inlay, titanium nugget backspacer, titanium pocket clip, and anodized titanium hardware, all blue. This is the best looking whippersnapper I've ever seen. Look at that. Oh. Oh my. That dark wash titanium is so rich looking for a durable working finish. Front flipper on bearings, gorgeous Wharncliffe blade. In 20 CV, you got 2 and 13/16 inches of blade, 4 1/8 handle, and it is a very hand-friendly knife. Oh my, yeah. So your steel inserted titanium frame lock is going to engage thusly. The lockup is rock solid. The action is butter on ball bearings. The centering is perfect. It's a front flipper I can use. How about that? It is near mint to like new in box. These are out of stock. In looking at Blade HQ's Whippersnapper listings, it looks like this model would have been $845 web retail. Some of them are more, some of them are less, but similar in material and finish where it would have been $845. We're going to do this one for $500, guys, and $530 with an Apostle PH. That's the Olamic Whippersnapper. All right, left-handed Chris Reeve fanboys, get ready, because we got one right here. What is it? It is a small Sebenza 31 plain, left-handed, but raindrop Damascus from Chad Nichols. Here we go. Made August 26th of 2020. The lanyard is intact, but not in the knife. Comes with the slip because it's Damascus. Here's the knife. Show side scale, unmarked. Spine, unmarked. Business side scale, unmarked. Clip, unmarked. It does have a little tiny bit of thumb wear on the nub. And there's your blade. Oh my. Oh my. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. There is your lock engagement with your ceramic ball interface. That's pretty early for a ceramic ball Sebenza 31. This will not be a free dropper. It's been kind of a safe clean. So it's probably got some congealed lube. Blade centering is Sebenza perfect. Lockup is dead rock solid. Born 8/26 of 20. Very near mint in box. The only reason not like new is because of the slight burnishing of the button. If you order one of these brand new from Chris Reeve today, it's going to cost you $575, and you'll probably get it in, 6 months to a year? Or just buy this one. $475 like it is. 510 with an ApostleP edge. Chris Reeve Small Sabenza 31. Lefty Damascus. It's left-handed, guys, just so you know. Next up, from the sublime to the Chinese, we got one from We Knife. The knife inside is the We 22005-4 hyphen. With a hyphen. Haha. Here's the knife. Beautiful flame anodized titanium handle. Beautiful flame anodized milled, thinly milled titanium clip with a nice bit of spring. Bronze anodized hardware. Thumb stud deployment that is beautiful. Ball bearing pivot. Blade steel is CPM 20 CV. 3 inches of it. A harpoon sheep's cliff wornfoot? I don't know. The handle length, 4 inches. Steel inserted titanium frame lock. There's your engagement. It is, of course, rock solid. And the blade centering is perfect. Condition, near mint to like new in box. I think these are currently in stock at some retailers for $255. This one can be yours. $195 like it is. $225 with an ApostleP edge. That's the hyphen from We. Next up, another We. This one is the We OG, I think. It's the Banter model 2004D with the green G10 handle and the S35 VN blade. My buddy John, the motorcycle mechanic, never leaves home without his. So you got 3 5/8 inches of handle, 2 7/8 inches of blade. Super efficient blade to handle. Kind of an acid stone-washed S35 blade. Big, skinny drop point. Skinny. Thumb stud deployment and rather nice looking sort of bronzy thumb studs. Stainless steel liner lock and a ball bearing pivot. Deep carry, tip up, a right hand clip. There's your lock engagement. It's rock solid. Blade centering is perfect. Condition like new in box. So like new in box that I broke the seal to open it. Never been out of the box to my knowledge. I don't know how it got out and back in, if it did. So there you go. Web retail for this knife, $100. Brand new. You can have this one all in, shipped priority mail, $80 like it is, $105 with my edge. The 2004D Banter from We. Next up, we have one from Kaiser. Man, I had trouble figuring out what was going on with this knife when I picked it up. The model number is V3805E4. It's the original in copper. Okay, so I picked it up without looking at the box, and I went, "What is it? Why would you make a manual button lock with a steel handle?" Because it was so heavy. Then I read the box. Well, that is a solid copper handle that's got like an antique finish on it. You can see under the clip, it's a little lighter. It's very cool. I don't know how that's going to look over time, but it's going to get cooler and cooler. Anyway, it's the Kaiser original. Thumb stud deployment, button lock on ball bearings. Nice detent. 154 cm blade, 2 15/16 inches in length. Gorgeous drop point, nice high flat grind, beautiful satin. And then the handle is 3 13/16, so very efficient blade to handle ratio. Right hand tip up deep carry clip. Nice, nice. Lockup's perfect, action's perfect, centering's perfect. Condition like new in the box. 89 bucks at Amazon, you want to buy a brand new one. This one, 70, shipped, priority mail, all in. 95 with my edge. The Kaiser original in copper. Next up, another from Kaiser. Good luck reading that blue label. Good job, Light. Okay. This is the Kaiser V3488E1 Mini Sheepdog, or CO1C Mini, or something like that. This particular Mini Sheepdog comes in beautiful natural canvas micarta scales, a deep carry right-hand tip-up only clip. It opens with no flipper, but with a hole. Blade steel is CPM 10V. You don't say. Yes, you do say. Black coated. Not a bad little edge. 2 11/16 blade, 3 9/16 handle. It melts into the hand, guys. You've got a stainless steel liner lock mechanism, ball bearing pivot. Everything is squared away, centering's perfect. Condition like new in the box. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were 84 bucks web retail. You're not going to believe this. You can buy a modern folding knife with nice materials and a CPM 10V blade for 75 bucks, shipped priority mail. 105, you want my edge on it. That's the Kaiser Mini Sheepdog 10V. Next up, our CPOS parade continues. Got one from Civivi. The knife inside is the C20075A-DS1 Synergy 3. Kind of a cool knife. Look at the scales. So I had a heck of a time figuring out what these were, but basically you have a carbon fiber over G10 laminate, much like a Spyderco Sage 1 or Spyderco Domino, and then they do this milling pattern. So you have the glisten of the carbon fiber in the high spots, and then the matteness of the G10 in the low spots. It's pretty cool. Deep carry pocket clip that'll be right hand tip up only. It's a ball bearing flipper with a Damascus blade, designed by, I think, Jim O. Young. 3 1/4 inch Damascus blade, 4 3/16 handle. Stainless steel liner lock that locks up right there. Lock up is rock solid. Blade's got a Persian profile. Smooth ball bearing action. And centering is, well, I think it's perfect. Nice flipping action. So let's see, it is like new in the box. These are still available, I believe, for a web price of $132. Let's do 95 on this one. 120 with an ApostleP edge. The Civivi Synergy 3 in Damascus. Next up, it is another Civivi. This is the C908D Insight with the Quibursha wood scales. Very cool. You see the grain of the wood, but you also have a very fine milled pattern. Almost acts like a checkering for texture. Very nice. Larger knife. Right hand tip up deep carry will be your clip. Stainless steel liner lock is your lock method. Ball bearing flipper. Blade steel is D2. Kind of a swedged spear, wouldn't you say? Rock solid lockup, 3 5/8 blade, 4 7/8 handle. Nice in the hand in either grip. There's your lock engagement. Action is smooth and free. Centering's perfect, as is the action. Near mint to like new in box, we will call this one. It is discontinued, not a stock. When they were available, web retail was $72. Let's do 50 on this one. 75 with an ApostleP Edge, the Civivi Insight. Next up, we have a very interesting flashlight from Nightcore. And it does work as advertised. I looked up the manual online and walked through it. It's kind of complicated. You have two buttons. You can push them different ways. You have a little LCD display, a negative display here that kind of shows what mode it's in. But there are several brightness settings. There is a strobe function. It's a twin emitter. It is USB rechargeable. It's 5 1/16 inches long to the end of the handle, not counting the button. 5/8 thick and 1 1/16 wide. Nice pocket clip. And the lumen rating, 15 to 1,000 lumens. And I think 4 different settings, and there's a 3,000 lumen turbo mode and a strobe function. See if I can make it strobe. Yeah, how about that? I think, and it's the Nightcore EDC 27. They're $90 web retail. This one is near mint, no box. Let's go $65 with the charger cord on the Nightcore EDC 27 Lite. Next up, got one from the Benchmade Knife Company, Oregon City, Oregon. It's the 698 4A. The now discontinued 698 4A. Kind of a handsome little gents folder, I think. 4 1/8 inches of handle, revealed liner edges for a little bit of aesthetic and a little bit of grip, frankly. 3D machined black G10 that is satin finished. We have a model-specific pivot. We have a model-specific set of ends on your axis lock. Thumb stud deployment, phosphor bronze washers. CPM 20 CV blade. This is a first production knife, number 752 of 1,000. A little swedged, recurved spear point. Blade is 3 1/4. The handle is 4 1/8, so very efficient blade to handle. This would not have come with this clip. It is a 2-hole clip designed for a deep carry. Somebody put a Parkerized split arrow on this one, which I think looks just fine. You do lose a screw, though. Nice action. Rock solid lockup. And perfect centering. I'm going to call it near mint in box. These are discontinued, not a stock. When they were last available, they had a web retail Benchmade map price of $195. Let's go $150 on this one. $180 if you like it with an ApostleP Edge. The Benchmade 698 4A. Next up, got one from Spyderco. It is a Native 5. Model C41 PBK5, which is a fully lined G10 scaled midlock Native 5. The blade in that beautiful, that's kind of a fine bead blast and a tumble polish. S35 VN blade, 3 inches in length, 4 inches of handle. For a small, short knife, this is super robust. You get a 4-way pocket clip, polished variety, rock solid lockup, gorgeous ergonomics. And what makes a Native cool is the lack of the hump. A knife originally designed to sell at Walmart back in the early 90s. Walmart didn't like the hump. The trade-off is it's not as flickable as a hump knife because the hole is kind of buried so far down in the handle. But anyway, Great little workhorse knife, near mint inbox, perfect action, centering, lockup. These are currently available for a MAP price of $129 at your favorite retailer. Let's do this one at $100. Shipped priority mail, $125 with an Apostle PH. The Spyderco Native 5 Midlock. Next up, this to me is kind of the OG pair too, right? From Spyderco, Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. It's a paramilitary too. Digicam scales. Nice looking Digicam too. Compression lock, polished 4-way clip, Spidey hole opening, S30V blade. Lockup is rock solid. Almost a free dropper, definitely a free flinger. Blade centering is pretty close to perfect. Does that slightly favor the left? I could fix that. Anyway, very near mint in box. Discontinued and out of stock in this configuration. Can't buy an S30V blade anymore. I'm not even sure if you can do Digicam anymore. Anyway, let's do 130 on this one. 155 with an Apostle PH. Spyderco Pair 2 S30V Digi Satin. Next up, we got one more from ZT. We are going bold. Appropriate for this knife. One of the most ambitious ZT designs ever. It is the Gus Cecchini designed GTC ZT0055 flipper. So you've got a beautifully stylized and milled titanium handle. You've got a right-hand tip-up only pocket clip. You got a floating blue hard anodized aluminum backspacer. Steel inserted titanium frame lock on bearings. And it is a flipper, but check it out, guys. It has the GTC SLT hidden flipper. So that pulls like that. You flip it and it goes away. Does not protrude below the bottom of the handle. The blade is S35VN. 3 7/16 inches of nightmare grind. The handle is 5 inches. There's your lock engagement. Beautiful. Drop shutty ball bearing action. Perfect blade centering. Condition near mint to like new in box. They're discontinued and out of stock. When they were last available, they had a MAP price of $170. Let's go 130 on this knife. They had to lose money on these. They didn't share anything with anything. And they sold them kind of cheap. So 130 like it is, 160 with an Apostle PH, the ZT0055. Next up, it's Protect time, boys. Here we go. The old Protect box. The knife inside is a Protect TR 2.3. It's a Tactical Response 2, black handle, black blade, plain edge. The TR series, designed for the late, great James Yeager at Tactical Response. Black aluminum handle, hard anodized, with some milled checkering in the nose and the tail. It is a button lock, automatic, side fold variety. 154 cm blade, DLC coated, 3 1/8 inches long, 4 7/16 handle. Oh, yeah. Nice spear point blade. Rock solid lockup. Perfect blade centering. Protect action. Couple little shiny spots in the checkering from very, very slight wear. So we're going to call it
near mint inbox. These are discontinued, not a stock. They used to be 170 web retail when they were available. Let's do 130 on this one. I'm sorry. They were 166 web retail. We're going to do 150 on this one. I read the wrong line. 150 like it is. 175 with an ApostleP edge. That's the ProTech TR 2.3 automatic. Next up, another ProTech. My house of cards just fell. This is a ProTech Emerson side folding automatic. The E7A11 Emerson ProTech CQC7A for auto spear point. What a gorgeous knife. Yes. So our aluminum frame is, I would say that is like a dark wash bead blast on aluminum. And then the aluminum milled out to accept the textured black G10 scales. We have a ProTech Emerson style clip, right hand tip up. We have a DLC coated blade, serial number 381. We got a 154 cm blade, sort of an abbreviated thumb ramp, like a nod to the Emerson wave. Lockup is rock solid. Centering on this one is left slightly. Condition, near mint in box. Discontinued, out of stock. When they were available, they were 210 web retail. Let's do this one at 185 like it is. 210 with an ApostleP edge. The ProTech Emerson CQC7 Auto. Next up, we got a Sahinderer. Old labeling system, which is to say, not much. We have an XM18 3.5 inch, and it's a Skinner, wearing the blue and black Diamondback milled pattern G10 scale. One of my favorite scales, by the way, on a Hinderer. Bright hardware, stonewash blade and frame. We got a Hinderer lock bar stabilizer. We have a titanium frame lock with no insert, and we're on Teflon washers. Flipping action just fine, by the way. S35 VN blade, 3.5 inches long, 4 3/4 inches of handle. Not everything needs to have ball bearings, guys. So it's got what I would call a normal Hinderer detent for the period, right? And notice, even without a super strong detent, it flips just fine. It doesn't fall out of the handle. It operates like a very well done old Hinderer, right? We'll call it near mint in box. There's your lock engagement. Locks up rock solid. Blade centering should be, well, I think it's about perfect, boys. We'll call it near mint in box. You know how much these cost. I think this should be quite a buy at $350, like it is, $385 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Hinderer XM18 3.5 Skinner. Next up, we have another old school Hinderer. Let's see. All we have on this box is a 3-inch Sponto gray. Well, that's what it was when it was new. It came with that gray scale. It is not wearing, because it's wearing the forest green. Now this has some brass standoffs installed and a brass disc. The rest of the hardware is bright. But you get a baggie with a full set of copper hardware, including screws. How about that? So all your standoffs are in there, and your disc is in there.
But as configured, here's what we got. So this is a pre-tri-way knife. You gotta like actually know how to flip it, but it flips just fine. Blade is S35VN. Locks up right there. Rock solid. And the centering will be like dead down the middle. How about that? Condition near mint in box. So with the 2 scales, with the 2 full sets of hardware, your price, $350 like it is, $380 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Hinder XM18 3.0. Next up, our last Microtech of the evening. And sort of that last generation box. Oh, this one is from way back in 2016, October, serial number 69907 Ultratech. Yeah. Muerte. Here we go. Double-edged 2-tone blade, so I guess it's not totally murdered because you got that little run of satin down the middle. Blade steel is L-Max. Plain edge double-edged Ultratech with the black handle. Reliability is 100%. Button effort is firm. Old Ultratech firm. To do this about 12 times before my thumb wears out. It's about there. There we go. Condition, near mint in box. You can't buy one of these brand new right now. If you could, it'd be $325. Let's do $250 on this one. No need to sharpen. Microtech Ultratech double-edged murdered. Next up, here is a blast from the social media knife community past. A brand devised by Robert Young Pelton DPX gear. Made by Lion Steel, as you might have been able to tell from the box. It's the DPX H.E.S.T folder. OD green, deeply textured, almost cold steel-like green G10. You got a deep carry, tip-up right-hand pocket clip, taking on a nice little patina hue. You got the Lion Steel roto block that will lock your lock bar in place when the knife is open. So you open it, you close it. You open it, you engage roto block, cannot close it. Let's see, no steel insert. Oh, yes, there is a steel insert in this titanium frame lock. Son of a gun. No, there isn't. There's not. There is not. Works great, though. No slip, no stick. DLC coated blade in D2. So lots of features on this knife I'll not go into completely, but you have a hex driver in the lanyard hole. I can't remember what that notch is for. It's something to do with your AR-15, I think. I don't know. You may be able to open a bottle of beer with it. There's your lock engagement. The blade length is 3 1/4. The handle is 4 3/8. It's on Teflon washers with thumb studs. Works just fine. Blade centering, down the middle. Condition, near mint in box with the tool to adjust stuff and remove stuff and look cool doing it. Let's see. You can buy these brand new. They're now in Nio locks, which is a little maybe better steel than D2, but they're $225 web retail. On this one, let's do 140 like it is, 165 with an ApostleP edge, the DPX H.E.S.T folder. That brings us to the last knife in this evening's sale. It's from Wraith. You're going to get pouch only, no outer box with this one. It's kind of cool because was it last week or the week before we ran an old District 9 folder that was before the name Wraith? Well, this is interesting because It's still a District 9 folder, but it's branded Riot. So what is the District 9? It's 3 3/4 inches of S35 VN, 4 15/16 inches of titanium handle, and it's not light, boys. It's thick, it's robust, it's kind of heavy. I would guess it's 6 ounces, maybe a little more. So this has the Lion Steel Roto Block type mechanism. You turn that to lock the lock bar, if I can do it. I think they've got it screwed down tight. Anyway, steel inserted titanium frame lock. The back spacer is anodized goldy green and blue. The pocket clip goldy green, milled titanium, right hand tip up, ball bearing pivot, and a flipper and thumb studs. The studs work just fine. So these are long discontinued. I found one sold listing on eBay for this exact knife that did $382. I don't think it's worth that much. I think we sold the unbranded District 9 for $150. Let's go $175 on this one, then $200 if you'd like it with my edge. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I had fun making it. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now go buy some knives.